Remarks in our special order tonight. We're going in, it seems to be reverse order by seniority, but my friend Garret Graves, I yield to him as much time as he may consume. He knew Luke very well, and I know he'll bring some good thoughts to us tonight. Mr. Graves.
Thank you. I want to thank the gentleman for yielding, for organizing this, Mr. Johnson. Madam Speaker, I've sat here and listened to all these people talk about Luke Letlow, and I don't know who they're talking about. Luke was a redneck. There's this iconic picture of Luke where he's wearing this hat, and it says, "Start fire." And the only thing that comes to mind is this is parent material, right? Luke was a good old boy, and I know that in many instances that term is associated with negativity. That's not Luke. Luke was a force for good, and he did that before the Navy even coined that term. I've known him for 15, 20 years. We staffed together up here in Congress. We worked together in the governor's office in Louisiana. And Luke was always a workhorse, always. Not a show horse. Madam Speaker, Luke was a public servant. He wasn't a politician. He had a heart for the public. He had a heart for fixing things, and he was good at it. Luke brought folks together, and he got things done. There wasn't a prejudiced or discriminatory bone in his body. Everybody was a friend. Everybody Luke met, he looked you in the eye. He gave you that little grin it was a little bit cockeyed. And he truly wanted to know you. He truly wanted to get to know people, to find out what you were about. He loved finding out about the background or history of people, their ancestry, their relatives, where they were from, what they did, what they cared about. Madam Speaker, the people in the 5th District of Louisiana saw that as well. There are 24 parishes that comprise the 5th District. And Luke won 23 of those, 23 of them in the election. This district has, his predecessor used to brag, and Luke, serving as the chief of staff to Congressman Ralph Abraham, used to brag that this district has more acres of row crops than any other district in Congress. This wasn't an urban area. This wasn't New York City or even New Orleans. This was a rural area. And Madam Speaker, these were the people that Luke had a heart for. I've never in my life been as excited as I was to have a colleague like Luke. Years and years ago, I told him, I said, Luke, look, if Ralph Abraham ever steps down, you got to run. You got to do it. There are a lot of people up here that are good. Luke would have been great. Madam Speaker, you look at this place, you watch the network TV, the news, and you wonder why in the world anyone would want to come do this. You really got to question people's sanity, looking at how dysfunctional, how partisan, how divisive this place is. One of the previous speakers hit it on the head when they said Luke is exactly what we need. He's exactly what we need here. I'll say it again. Luke's a workhorse, not a show horse. He brings people together. He doesn't care about your race, your ethnicity. He doesn't care about your political party. What he cares about is doing things right. Luke's dream was to find a good life partner. And knowing him when he was a little younger, I think many of us thought that was a pretty lofty goal for Luke. But man, he nailed it. He did. Julia, his partner, his life partner, his spouse, his wife is just amazing. And Luke was just so excited, so giddy about that relationship. Luke's dream was to be a good son. And he is. He's a great son. He's a great brother. And before I leave y'all with a wrong impression, I should have clarified that his dad was actually started the volunteer fire department in Start, S-T-A-R-T, where he was from. So I didn't mean to suggest that he was a pyro. He was a good son. Luke's dream was to be a member of Congress, and he did that too. He won the election. His dream was to be a good father, and to Jeremiah and the apple of his eye, Jacqueline. He loves them, absolutely loves them. And his dream was to be a good Christian. And look, all of us are sinners, but Luke was a difference maker. He didn't run for Congress for the name recognition, for the ego, or for the popularity. He ran to represent the underrepresented, to stand up for these small communities like Start, Louisiana, and the people of these small communities so they would have a voice, so they would be represented. I'll never in my life forget when we were in the burial, following the Hertz to the burial ceremony, and seeing that Hertz driving and the water tower of Start right there in the background in this just ominous sky. All I could think about is just Luke doing what was right and wanting to be here because he really cared. He did. It was so genuine. Madam Speaker, people often talk about term limits. And term limits make a lot of sense. There are some people that should be term limited after they've been in Congress for about 2 months. And there's some people that should be term limited after 40 years. Luke was one of those people that should be here forever because you couldn't change his genuine heart and care for the people and doing what is right. So, Madam Speaker, I want to thank again my friend from Louisiana for organizing this. Absolutely well-deserved. Filling the void that Ralph Abraham's retirement created was a big void, but certainly Luke was absolutely up for that task. He was going to do an amazing job to Julia, to Jeremiah, to Jacqueline. Luke is looking down at us from heaven right now, probably playing Xbox or PlayStation, and he's looking over this place, he's looking over this family. What Louisiana lost was heaven's gain. God bless you, brother.
Thank my friend Garret Graves of Louisiana for those poignant words. The funeral service was just like that with